welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. It's a sunny Thursday afternoon when I come home early from work, buzzing with excitement. The living room is bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, casting long shadows on the polished wooden floor. I call out, expecting to hear Sarah's voice echo back, in the kitchen, or upstairs. But the house is oddly silent. Sarah. I drop my keys on the hall table, the sound unusually loud in the quiet. No answer. I wander into the living room, expecting to see her sprawled on the sofa, engrossed in one of her travel magazines, surrounded by our meticulously planned vacation brochures. Italy had been her dream, and after months of planning, we were finally set to make that dream a reality. The tickets, neatly tucked into our travel folder, were a promise of the adventures to come. But the room is empty. The travel folder, usually perched on the coffee table, is missing. Puzzled, I check the kitchen, then upstairs, my steps growing more hurried. Each empty room twists my gut tighter. Back downstairs, I notice her laptop open on the dining table, still awake. I approach, a frown creasing my forehead as I scan the open documents, nothing but a scattering of old work emails and a half-finished novel she'd been dabbling in writing. Sarah, if this is a game, it's not funny. I call out again, my voice echoing off the walls, more anxious now. I pull out my phone and dial her number. It rings and rings, then voicemail. My heart pounds harder. A knock at the door startles me. I swing it open to find our neighbor, Janice, holding a small pile of mail. "Hey, thought this got mixed up in ours," Janice says, handing me the letters. Her brow furrows as she peeks behind me. "Everything okay, Mark?" I force a smile, my mind racing. "Yeah, just can't find Sarah. Have you seen her today?" Janice shakes her head, her expression shifting to concern. "No, but I did see her getting into a cab this morning. Had a couple of big suitcases with her." A cold dread washes over me. "Thanks, Janice," I manage to say, closing the door gently. Inside, my hands tremble as I tear through the letters, hoping for a clue, a note, anything. There's nothing from Sarah, just bills and junk mail. The reality begins to sink in. She's gone. But why? Where? I force myself to think. The missing travel folder. The suitcases. A bitter taste fills my mouth as the pieces click together. Grabbing my laptop, I log into the shared folder where we keep digital copies of all important documents, our e-tickets, hotel reservations, passport scans. The folder is empty. Everything is gone. Panic gives way to a sharp, burning anger. I open the bank app next, checking our joint account. My breath catches. Large withdrawals over the last few weeks, all when I was at work, money I hadn't questioned because I trusted her. The doorbell rings again. It's Janice, looking even more worried. "Mark, there's something else. I didn't want to say earlier in case I was wrong, but I think she was with someone. A man. I've never seen him before." The floor feels like it's dropping away beneath me. "Thank you, Janice," I say, my voice hollow. She leaves, and I sink to the floor, my mind reeling. Betrayed. Lied to. Abandoned. I think of our vows, of the years together, of the life I thought we were building. Anger simmers within me, fueling a dark resolve. Sarah has made her choice, and now, I'll make mine. I'll start by taking back my life, piece by piece. And then, I'll make sure she regrets ever crossing me. This isn't just a divorce. It's retribution. As night falls, I sit alone in the dark, plotting. The journey to vengeance has just begun. By Monday morning, I've scarcely slept. My home feels more like a crime scene than a sanctuary. I can't sit still. I need answers. I need to know who he is, where they've gone. Every second she's away, every moment I'm in the dark, the betrayal festers, growing more unbearable. I decide to visit Sarah's workplace first. She had been a graphic designer at a small, bustling studio downtown. As I park outside the glass-fronted building, my grip tightens on the steering wheel. This is where she spent her days, where maybe, her affair blossomed under the guise of ordinary workdays. I push through the door, my heart pounding in my ears. The receptionist, a young woman with bright green glasses, looks up, her smile faltering as she takes in my grim expression. "Can I help you?" she asks, tilting her head slightly. "I need to see Sarah's boss." "It's urgent," I say, my voice steady despite the storm inside. She hesitates, then nods, picking up the phone. Moments later, a man in his 40s, with a calm demeanor and a cautious smile, extends his hand. "Mark, right? Sarah has spoken of you." "I'm Thomas, her supervisor. How can I assist?" "It's about Sarah," I begin, watching his face for any flicker of recognition or guilt. "She's missing. Did she mention any travel plans to you, or perhaps someone she might be with?" Thomas's eyes widen, genuine concern etching his features. "Missing? No, she just requested some time off for a personal emergency. She didn't mention travel." "Who's she with?" Frustration knots in my chest. That's what I'm trying to find out. Did she leave with anyone from here? Maybe someone new or someone she spent a lot of time with. Thomas shakes his head, pondering. "She's close with a few folks here, but as for leaving with someone..." A voice interrupts us. "She's been hanging out a lot with Alex from IT," a woman says, stepping into the office. She's about Sarah's age, with sharp eyes and a forthright manner. They worked on some projects together. Thomas nods, thanking her before turning back to me. "Let's talk to Alex then." Alex's office is cluttered with dual monitors and gadgets. He's a lanky, nervous-looking man who seems bewildered by the sudden spotlight. "Sarah's missing?" Alex asks, pushing his glasses up his nose. "We're just friends, colleagues, you know. But you've been spending time together outside of work." I press, trying to keep the edge out of my voice. He hesitates, then sighs. "We went out a few times with the team, yes. Nothing unusual. I know she was stressed about something personal, but she didn't share much." "Did she talk about going anywhere? Anyone new in her life?" I persist. Alex shifts uncomfortably. "Look, I really shouldn't be saying this, but she met someone online. Talked about how they really clicked. Said it was refreshing to talk to someone so different. Online. A lead. It's flimsy, but it's something." I thank Alex and Thomas, my mind racing as I leave the building. As I drive away, my phone buzzes. It's a text from a number I don't recognize. "Mark, we need to talk. It's about Sarah. Meet me at the old cafe on 5th at 3 m. Mystery and intrigue deepen. Who is this? What do they know about Sarah? My hands tighten on the wheel. I'm not just a betrayed husband, I'm a hunter now, chasing down every clue, every shadow that might lead me to her, and to the truth. The cafe visit can't come soon enough. The old cafe on 5th is a relic from a different time, its walls lined with vintage posters and the air tinged with the scent of roasted coffee beans. As I push through the door, the chime announces my arrival, drawing a few curious glances from the scattered patrons nursing their late afternoon lattes and espressos. I scan the room and spot a woman sitting alone at a corner table, her face obscured by a large-brimmed hat and a newspaper. As I approach, she lowers the paper, revealing sharp, assessing eyes that seem to pierce through me. "Mark?" Her voice is low, measured. "I'm Miranda." Please, sit. I slide into the chair opposite her, my mind racing with questions. How do you know Sarah? Miranda folds her hands on the table, her demeanor calm yet commanding. I've been following your wife's case more closely than you might expect. I'm a private investigator. A private investigator. I repeat, eyebrows raised in both surprise and skepticism. Who hired you? Miranda smiles thinly. Let's just say a concerned party. My client believes your wife might be in trouble, more than just fleeing a marriage. Trouble? The word echoes in my mind, reframing the narrative from betrayal to something potentially darker. What kind of trouble? She leans forward, her voice dropping to a whisper. It's not just about an affair, Mark. The man she's with, we believe he's involved in some shady business. Fraud, perhaps even worse. Sarah may not have known what she was getting into. I absorb her words, a chill settling in my chest. You think she's in danger? It's possible, Miranda admits, pulling out a small envelope from her bag and sliding it across the table to me. This is what I've gathered so far. Photos, conversations between Sarah and this man, known associates. I need your help to piece more together. I open the envelope, my eyes quickly scanning the contents. There are pictures of Sarah with a tall, dark-haired man, laughing, seemingly carefree. My heart twists at the sight, but my focus sharpens. There are also screenshots of their messages, cryptic and often cautious, hinting at plans and meetings. Why come to me now? I ask, looking up from the photos. Because you might be the only one who can reach her, convince her to come home, or at least get away from him, Miranda explains. You were her life, Mark. Maybe part of her still wants that back. The thought stirs a mix of hope and fury within me. And if I find her, then what? What about the man? We handle him through the proper channels, she responds firmly. My job is to ensure Sarah's safety, and yours, to bring her out of whatever mess she's gotten into. I nod slowly, a plan forming in my mind. Where do I start? Miranda scribbles an address on a napkin. Here. They were last seen at this hotel downtown. I can get you in, but you'll be on your own. Thank you, Miranda, I say, pocketing the napkin and the envelope. My resolve hardens. The game has changed, no longer just a hunt for a wayward wife, but a rescue mission. As I stand to leave, Miranda offers a final piece of advice: be careful, Mark. People desperate to hide can become dangerous. I nod, stepping out of the cafe into the fading light of the day. The stakes are higher now, and I'm not just fighting for retribution but possibly for Sarah's very safety. The weight of the mission settles on my shoulders as I head toward the address, ready to face whatever lies ahead. The hotel is a stark, modern building that contrasts sharply with the quaint cafe where I met Miranda. Its glass facade reflects the dimming sky as I approach, clutching the envelope tightly. The address Miranda provided leads me to a room on the 10th floor. My pulse quickens with each step in the elevator, anticipation and dread battling for dominance. As the elevator dings open, I step into the hallway, eyes scanning the numbers on the doors. The envelope gives me a room number, 1012. I find the door and take a deep breath before knocking. No answer. I knock again, louder this time. The sound reverberates off the hallway walls. Sarah. I know you're in there. I call out, my voice edged with frustration and worry. There's a brief pause before the door creaks open slightly. I push it gently, and the door swings wide. The room is dimly lit, the curtains drawn. Sarah is sitting on the edge of the bed, her eyes red, looking up at me in shock. Mark? What are you? Who's he? I cut her off, my gaze darting around the room. The man from the photos is nowhere to be seen. The room, though elegant, feels empty, lifeless. Sarah stands, her face a mix of guilt and desperation. Mark, I can explain. It's not what you think. Then what is it, Sarah? I demand, frustration boiling over. What's going on here? Before she can answer, the door to the bathroom opens, and a man steps out, tall, well-dressed, with an air of confidence. It's him, the one from the photos. Mark, the man says, nodding toward me with a smirk. I'm Alex. I think we need to talk. A cold realization hits me. This is not just an affair. There's a deeper layer of deceit here. So you're the one behind all this? The one Sarah's been involved with? Alex smiles, unfazed. I'm afraid you've stumbled into something bigger than a simple affair. Enough games. I snap. Why are you here? What's your angle? Sarah steps between us, her voice shaking. Mark, I should have told you the truth. Alex and I were planning something significant. Alex laughs softly, shaking his head. Sarah, you should have let me handle this. But now, it's too late. What do you mean? I ask, my anger giving way to confusion. Sarah's eyes well up with tears. Alex and I were involved in a financial scheme. We were siphoning money from various accounts, money that wasn't ours. I didn't know how deep it went until it was too late. I tried to end it, but Alex threatened me. The realization is staggering. Sarah wasn't just unfaithful, she was entangled in criminal activity. You're saying you were blackmailed into this? Sarah nods, tears streaming down her face. I tried to escape, but Alex has been controlling everything. I thought if I played along, I could find a way out. Alex's smirk fades, replaced by a steely gaze. It's true. Sarah's involvement was necessary for our operations. But now, since she's compromised, I have to make sure she doesn't talk. A chill runs down my spine. So, what happens now? You're not just going to let us walk away. Alex's expression turns cold. I'm afraid not. Sarah's made a mess, and I can't afford to have loose ends. In a sudden movement, Alex lunges for Sarah, but I step in, grabbing him by the arm. Don't touch her. A struggle ensues, and Alex's strength catches me off guard. Sarah, in a desperate attempt to help, grabs a lamp and swings it at Alex, but he dodges and shoves her away. The commotion alerts the hotel staff, and soon, the hallway fills with concerned voices and flashing lights. Alex seizes the opportunity to flee, pushing past me and running down the hallway. I chase after him but lose sight as he disappears around a corner. The hotel manager and security arrive, taking statements from Sarah and me. I watch as Alex is eventually apprehended by the police, his face twisted with rage and frustration. Sarah, now safe but emotionally shattered, collapses into a chair. I'm so sorry, Mark. I never meant for any of this. I look at her, my heart heavy with betrayal and anger. You've put me through hell, Sarah. Not just with your affair, but with your involvement in this mess. I know, she says, her voice breaking. I never wanted any of this to happen. I was scared. I shake my head, a cold finality setting in. You made choices that led us here. I trusted you, and you betrayed that trust in every possible way. As the police escort Alex away, I look back at Sarah one last time. This is over, Sarah. I can't be with someone who has lied and deceived me so thoroughly. We're done. She nods, her face reflecting the weight of her choices. I understand. I turn and walk away, my heart heavy but resolute. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: some betrayals cut too deep to ever be healed. The life we once had is irrevocably shattered, and as I step into the cool evening air, I know that we part forever, each of us haunted by the ghosts of our decisions.